Meu pequeno historia do céu, my brief history of heaven. Today's video is called End Times Dialogues. Anyway, it's interesting. I have like-minded friends. Yes, it's true. Even I have like-minded friends. And we talk in the usual places: Skype, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, and so on. And sometimes our conversations get a little bit cynical or dark humorish, as we're all trying to, get through these crazy times of ours. So today I had a little chat with a friend who will remain anonymous. And it goes like this. Sorry, I have to kind of read it because, I have to kind of read it. I feel like Rachel Maddow with my notes. Of course, I don't watch Rachel Maddow. Okay, I'm saying, at the moment I don't know where to find it. That is hope. Ignorance must be eradicated. The world's population needs to wise up fast. Everybody must contribute now. Everyone must pitch in and do their part. There you go. All hands on deck type of thing. Much has been said. Since January, February, March. The virus is a tough challenge, but it is by far not the last or the worst humanity will face, I fear. What will it take? Will all the circuses and the fast food need to disappear before we become aware that our way of life has real costs and consequences? Some people call externalities and so on. But most of us don't pay attention to that because we make enough money to just have fun, and there's nothing wrong with just having fun. If you have enough money, you don't have to pay much attention to anything, just kind of, go along with everything, which is normal. The status quo is cancer, however. Why? Because it is the cause of the major problems that are an existential threat to life on Earth. It's going to kill us all. No one even acknowledges the sixth extinction now. Global warming denial is still widespread. So while we're going through this, oh no, crisis, trying to figure this one out, which isn't easy, everything else just clicks along. We haven't solved anything, really. Inequality, the bailouts, bankers robbing us blind again. Well, they throw us pittance. Anyway, my friend, anonymous friend, I do have friends. Got to keep the oil supply chain options open while keeping China and Russia off the geological spoils. That doesn't come cheap. What did Dick Cheney say? Americans have a God-given right to drive. There you go. So I come back, right? So in 10 years, the climate will be too hot for human habitat. The players who created the great game and play with us plebs will finally starve to death, along with all of their victims. Oops. Extinction as cosmic justice. Of course, the cosmos isn't just. Only we cry out for it. My friend now, the poor warheads are recruited on the offer of a more affordable higher education should they survive their tours. Trump wants his signature on the $1,200 checks they'll send to Americans. I guess there won't be an election in November. It's a good way to buy an election. That small act of appeasement will be enough to buy their loyalty to the show until next year, barring a bloodbath between now and then, of course. Let's hope not, okay? None of us want that. We're just talking here. People are universally stubbornly stupid. Mexico and Brazil continue to promote magical thinking. Bolsonaro says you can't close a factory because of few traffic deaths. To people like him, we are cannon fodder. Believe me, we're cannon fodder. Trump will pick the economy over the sick, weak, and elderly and vulnerable. The MAGA crowd will go with him to a point unless too many of their own families start dropping like flies. Then the guns will come out, It's not a good time to be an Asian American, even if you have no links to China. I say, I'm glad I left the United States decades ago. I just remembered how many people really didn't like the United States when I was traveling. You know, I traveled during the Reagan period and the Clinton, the Bush and the Bush period, and the Obama period. And there were a lot of people around the world who didn't like what we were doing overseas, not to mention the Vietnam War and everything else. You know, some people would say I'm Canadian instead of admitting they were an American. I never did that, but you know what I mean. It's kind of weird to have to go do that. Not to say that people aren't in awe of America's power and entertainment product and so on and so forth, high tech and Google and Facebook, but a lot of people around the world just think we're arrogant, narrow-minded, idiotic people, bullies. Be that as it may, much has been said. Anyway, my friend says, sadly, there are too many morons, as the deaths of swaths of people in the Bible Belt populations will show. That's sad, I'm sorry, but in our opinion, Jesus will not save you. Kindly medics who risk their lives will. Perhaps plasma antibody products will be Sadly, there are too many morons, as the deaths of swaths of people in the Bible Belt populations will show. Jesus will not save you. Kindly medics who risk their lives will. Perhaps plasma antibody products will hopefully come online for the many and not just the 1%. Got to remember when Boris Johnson or Prince Charles or some basketball star gets sick, they have the best healthcare in the world. They already have ventilators. They already have medical staff to look after them. They can go to private hospitals. They've got unlimited financial resources. So hopefully they'll pull through, but that's not the case for most of us when hospital resources have been depleted. So I go on. A young, fit Irish gentleman was in isolation in the hospital for 16 days before he recovered. That's the point. Nations have limited healthcare resources. Please stay home. Help to spread out access to healthcare resources so people can have the care they need to recover. Now, everybody's been saying that for the last 3 weeks, but I was talking to my friends about that for months, and people still don't get it. It's not about you catching a cold. It's about you giving COVID-19 to somebody whose body can't take it and they don't have health care resources. Everybody's saying it now, but I just hope that after people hear it a billion times, they're going to understand. Hey, Waji, that's my cat. So anyhow, my friend says, the problem for Trump will be when the medicos start dying. Prolonged high viral load exposure turns ugly for the doctors in their 30s and 40s. Already 20% of UK nurses are off sick. Donald Trump's giant brain and thinking skills will finally prove to be bigly fluff. Modeling is terrific. Once the war is underway, the real unpredictable shit unravels. In which case, it's the 50-year-olds who will have or have not the charisma to pull the 20 and 30-something medics kids through. If enough of senior medical staff dies, all bets are off. That's it. You got the leadership, the people with the experience, and they're already talking about bringing in the kids. Well, they're going to need leadership. They're going to have to step up. So I say if all the cannon fodder dies or gets overly stressed, the players' rigged game is over. Well, it's over anyway. Next year, global warming denial will kick in and everybody will be working for Amazon. The players will be dreaming of the singularity and uploading their psychopathic minds into robotic bodies to live frantic, egomaniacal cutthroat lives in the hope of someday destroying alien life in other worlds. The future will be a kind of cosmic disease with dosed blankets distributed to alien worlds. So yeah, we want to boldly go where no man has gone before, and then we want to spread our sickness and BS into other planets. It's like an invasive species. So my friend said, resilient countryside communities will die out last. Well, I'm sorry we're talking about that. Nobody wants to think about dying out, but there's a possibility there. I say officials in U.S. leadership are already mobilizing medical students like it's normal, with hardly a change in their tone of voice. So they're going to kids and saying, hey, you've been in medical school for what, a semester? Okay, you're a doctor now. Go get him, buddy. Take care of those people. You're on the front lines now. It is like invading the beaches in Normandy and having all your lieutenants killed and the sergeants killed. And some private has to step up and get promoted in the field. Man, it's crazy. So my friend says, USA major metropolis areas go Mad Max first. The guns and ammo mentality, which has yet to be demonstrated for what it is, will be in plain sight for the whole world to see. Boy, I hope not. Please. So then I conclude this chat. Ends after I say, we're in a "and the band played on" Titanic situation. I don't know if any of you have seen that series in the 80s about the AIDS crisis and the band played on. Well, that was a whole messed up situation. If you knew anybody back then who died of AIDS, it was pretty bad. And what did we learn from it? I don't know. Here we go. Anyway, thanks for hanging out this long. It was a long one. I tried to do it outside, but the exposure kept changing and it was just a mess. But anyway, take good care and be good to each other. Don't annoy each other too much. You're going to be stuck with each other indoors for a while. So try to find a way to be cool. Find your safe space, and I'll talk to you again soon.